Okay, so this is the intro to the intro because I could never be brief. Could never be brief. I know that I haven't posted in maybe 3 weeks, which could be so much worse. Let's be real, okay? I explain where I'm at in the actual intro, and I give us all, an idea of like what the vibes are. But I actually wanted to mention a specific account that sorry, like this is just genuinely so funny to me because like and I'm putting them on blast in the best way. Like I actually really appreciate like the consistency. Echo Legend 6560. I'm going to actually, like, I'm starting out this video with a compilation of their comments because like moves me to tears. Okay, we have I don't know what order. We'll go in from most recent to least recent. Mark my words, I assume they meant. This song will be a cult classic one day. About I've been hiding in the cupboard in my costume. Thank you. Stand for real. Like, I see you, I acknowledge you. Thank you for seeing me and acknowledging me, okay? Next we have, do you remember when YouTubers used to like read they would usually do hate comments because it was like funny. Oh, do you guys remember like OG YouTube? Like, that was so good. That was so like, it was like, those were the days. Like, people weren't like super monetized yet and like whatever, but I kind of want to do that. Like, I kind of want to make a compilation of my favorite comments. Maybe that's what I'll do for the next video because I'm gonna get to where I'm at. I'm gonna explain where I'm at when it comes to like music stuff in the intro, but okay, but that's the first. Wait, yeah, not unresponded. I need to see all the comments from this person because like I would check in on the comments and it was like constantly this person and it was actually cracking me the fuck up. Like, I was like so then we have 5 days ago, we have over 3 weeks without an upload, girl. We are starving. I know. And, they should call Child Protective Services on me because the babies are not being fed as much as they should be. Yeah. I would like to apologize. A lot has been happening in my life. Like, I actually started school again. I'm getting my master's online, which I'm actually really excited about. It's in museum studies, which I care about. I think that we need to preserve museums, and specifically, I like the ones with art in them. I think history is quite important as well. The way that I talk should be studied. I think it would be a really interesting case study for how the internet molds someone's like vernacular and vocabulary. I think that would be fascinating. Then we have, all the very best rhymed on something in the water. Then we have a comment on the YouTube shorts that I posted about I've been hiding in the cupboard in my costume being out, and the comment is, sigh, is this also going to be this week's upload? I think I might have responded to that and been like, I'm so sorry. Yeah. Then we have TBF you could drop nothing but guitar and piano songs for the rest of my existence and I'd be content. This shit is that fire, which is like really sweet. So honestly, this is like this. I'm reaching out to this person specifically and being like, I really appreciate you and your presence on my channel. Like, it is just, it warms my heart. Like, I know I sound so weird when I talk. Like, I sound very like deadpan when I talk, but I'm being real. I just feel like I've been a little bit dead inside just because all of the transition happening in my life, and I've started a new job. Like, there's just a lot, not to make excuses, and I just sound like I'm whining, which I kind of am, but like, I'm being authentic, okay? Okay? And then somebody else commented 2 weeks ago, is this gonna count as this week's upload? This is the one I responded to, and I said, ha, low-key, yes, maybe, flying by the seat of my pants right now. And Echo Legend 6560 said, thanks, at least now I know not to excessively check the channel every 10 minutes. Honestly, real as hell. So yeah, basically, shout out to Echo Legend 6560. I will even post some more of the comments here. I will, more of a compilation right now of Echo Legend 6560. Yeah. So, yeah, I think that it would be funny though at one point, because I actually got, for some reason, I thought that they left it. Now I'm like really reflecting and I'm like, oh, like this is like a true stan. Like, I wish nothing but love and joy for this person. But for some reason I got them mixed up with somebody else, where I thought that like, I got this other comment that, I don't know, I might not read it because I might save it, that like I could not tell if it was a compliment or not, but it's not from Echo Legend 6560, it's from someone else. So I got that mixed up in my head. So I didn't know what dance we were doing at first, but now I'm like, this is just like a stan. Yeah. I think I will probably be popping in with this. I edited the video and I'm doing like a run through of it right now. So I might be popping in editing mode throughout it, but I just needed to do this. So yeah. Let me know. Okay, actually, let me know, besides literal music, and y'all might be like, fuck you, just drop the songs and go. But besides literal music, like what type of, like, I love doing, I feel like a lot of the comments that I get are about like, or like a lot of the suggestions I get are the lyrics explained, like please talk about this song or whatever. But what else? I think that I'm legitimately going to do like a reading comments video, even though I like respond to all of them. I feel like that would be boring because I respond to all of them. Like, I don't know. Whatever. Enjoy this video. Boots. Okay, I tried to record this on my good camera, and it's giving me problems, so we're using the iPhone. Okay. I usually do these videos like not in drag, but I really wanted to get dressed up today. I wanted to feel how this makes me feel. Oh God, see, we're gonna have to take off the ring. I'm remembering at the beginning because it makes her little jingly sounds. So, I don't know why I'm entering this video with stress. I think we just have a lot of ground to cover. And I'm stressing out a little bit. It's gonna be okay though. We'll cover the ground. I already like this better than the vibe that my other camera was giving me. I feel like, ooh. Okay, so this is a Lyrics Explained video. Welcome. I just wanted to check in. So I haven't posted in about like 2 or 3 weeks. The demo release cycle that I was just in is over. It's done. I finished. Okay. So now we're moving into a separate cycle that's now kind of like I'm in album mode. And by album mode, I mean I am building up to a project that will be released on all streaming platforms. 3 days ago, because it's May 18th as I'm filming this, I've been hiding in the cupboard in my costume, and Greetings from All the Way Up Here on Spotify, Apple Music, what have you. It's out everywhere now. I will put the links in my bio. I wonder how many times I've said that in my life and how many times I will say it by the time that I die. And I think next I will probably release Empty Exons, and then from there I don't know what else, but I will be building up to an album that will be on everything, and it will be a project, and it will include some of the songs that you've heard throughout this demo cycle, and it will include new songs. And I don't know when it will come out. I am thinking September, but I could be wrong. I don't know. So those are the vibes there. That's good. That's good. I covered a lot of ground I covered so much ground and we're only 3 minutes in. Okay, this is already off to a better start. I'm so excited. Okay. I also am working on my website. I actually went live today on TikTok getting into this, and I was talking about my website. I'm actually really excited about it. I'm building it myself. I'm using Shopify, and it's going to be a whole thing. I'm going to be selling custom t-shirts. Like, you'll be able to go in, type in the lyric that you want me to print onto a t-shirt, pick your size, and I will send it to you. And I'm extremely excited about this. I will still be selling on Depop, and I will still be kind of making stuff that is more, what's the word? Like, you know, like on the website, it'll really just be the plain white t-shirt and black text, because I'm not gonna lie to you, setting up like customizable options on Shopify is a bit of a nightmare. No one talks about this, but it kind of is. Yeah. So with the shirts on Shopify, it's really going to be plain white tee, black text. You select the lyric you want, the size you want. There's my logo on the back, and then I send it to you. And then on the Depop, I will be just making clothing items that I feel like making with like different types of materials, like stuff that I thrift and I print text on, and I'll be more creative, and that will be like exclusive merch on Depop still. So I'll still be using like both platforms, but the website will be up so that you can just like, if you have a lyric that you want and you just want to buy something from me, whatever, like you will be able to do that on the website. I don't know if that makes sense. But like it makes sense to me. The bangs are like a little too long, but I just don't have it in me to cut them. So I honestly don't even know why I brought the website yet, because it's still a work in progress, but I'm just really excited about it. And I had to break out my knowledge of HTML, and and I'm learning how to use Shopify, and I think it's just because I'm really proud of myself and I need to talk about it, to be honest. And I need to pat myself on the back. But it's going really well so far. It is. I'm excited. It's going to be good. But that's just a little bit like, oh, that's in the works. Let me just tell you about that. Whatever. Not as important as the fact that I just released 2 songs on all streaming platforms. We're wrapping up the demo release cycle on SoundCloud and all that. And we're moving into a new phase. We're moving into a new phase. But really though, this video will just be a continuation of the lyrics explained. Do I have lipstick? No, I don't. Okay, good. Of the lyrics explained that I did about, was it a month ago? Yeah, it was a month ago. Yeah, it was a month ago. That's crazy. So I left off on "It's Just a Feeling I Have." And this was actually sad because I got further. Like, I think I've been hiding in the cupboard in my costume. Like, I did a lyrics explained for that one and it got deleted because, I don't know, like, Photo Booth was just beefing with me. Like a little Victorian child. I like it. I do. I think it's fun. I really love this wig. This is my like new favorite wig, but my actual favorite wig is the one my friend Matt made for me. It's like the pink curly one, but this is a contender. This one's so good. It's so voluminous. So we did greetings. We did a lot. We did the show that must go on. We even talked about grade A meat a little bit. And then we did greetings. I ripped off the Band-Aid, and it's just a feeling I have. Then in the footage that got deleted, I skipped death by oh my God. I skipped death by asphyxiation because this wig is starting to hurt my head. I think I need to okay, that's a little better. I undid like the clip thing in the back. That's actually phenomenal. That feels a lot better because I was like starting to be like, there's circulation being cut off. I skipped death by asphyxiation. I think I did a little bit of I said something about it, but I did skip it because that one's tough. Oh, I'm getting text messages. I'm so popular. My God. Yeah, death by asphyxiation. Sorry, I'm getting such interesting texts right now. Death by asphyxiation, out of all the songs from this cycle that I just did, death by asphyxiation is the most vulnerable one. And I remember what I said, and I basically just said death by asphyxiation. We're not going to go line by line because I literally, like, I can't do that emotionally right now, or like maybe ever. But death by asphyxiation is basically just about loving someone and it feeling like a humiliation ritual. Yeah, that's what that song is about, really. Yeah. Now we're gonna do I've Been Hiding in the Cupboard in My Costume. I already the way I clicked on I've Been Hiding in the Cupboard in My Costume and instead Death by Asphyxiation proceeded to play. Why? No. I've Been Hiding in the Cupboard in My Costume. I was actually on, I think I said this already, but I was on like a TikTok live getting into my makeup and everything. And I kind of already started to go into where this song comes from for me. And it was really cool because people in the chat were like talking about what it means to them. And it's so crazy how like everybody can have their own like connection to the song. Like even, it's like I feel something about it specifically as the writer, but it's not, it's honestly, anybody else's interpretation is just as valid most of the time, unless it's stupid. But most of the time it's not. So it's really cool seeing what people, you know, like what experiences other people have and how it comes through the song for them. But I will kind of be, you know, I will be giving my own take as the writer. And I said this too on the live, but it's so funny because I feel like a lot of the time artists or writers or people who make art will want to, or like prefer to or choose to kind of remain silent or like take a back seat to talking about their art because they want to leave it open to the interpretation of the viewer, the listener, or whatever. And I totally respect that. Honestly, I genuinely like really respect that. I just don't shut up. Like I just don't stop talking. Like I can just talk and talk, especially about things that I'm like excited about. Like I can just talk, like I don't know. I can actually, that's a like I can shut the fuck up. Like I can when I'm just like I can go mute. Like I really can when I have nothing to offer. But I think I'm really like I get really, you know, I get fired up about the songs and stuff. And maybe as I mature, I will be more like secretive and like, yeah, I'm not going to talk about this song because I just like, you know, like it's up to the listener or whatever. But for now, I'm going to talk about all of them. Actually, just kidding. Because see, Death by Asphyxiation is the perfect example where I'm like, yeah, like I don't, like I just, like I'm not going to talk about that one. Like I'm going to leave it up to you. You know, so maybe it's just about the song. Certain ones, I'm like, let's not talk about that. You can have your own relationship with that song and that's it. And then other songs, I'm like, I'm going to really get into this with you. And we're going to excavate together. Okay. Anyways, so I've been hiding in the cupboard in my costume. I have all the answers now. I know why the sky is blue and dirt covers the ground. And if I forget, well, I just take a look around. And I remember how it felt to be a child unaware of the forces that to name I wouldn't dare, of what stole my youth when I refused to share. Is that very fair? That doesn't seem fair. So this whole first section, and it's interesting that this song, even like in the order of the release of the demos, I didn't even think through the order that hard. But it's interesting because if Death by Asphyxiation is kind of about love, like loving someone, feeling like a humiliation ritual, the start of this song is kind of like waking up from that. And like I've been hiding in the cupboard in my costume. It's so funny every time I say that title. Like it's hilarious, like objectively. It's obvious this song isn't really about a person. Like it's more, this is what it is. I'm not speaking to a specific person. I guess I'm speaking to the idea of a specific kind of person. The kind of person that I'm speaking about is, yeah, like someone who is trying to make me feel humiliated, someone who is trying to make me feel ashamed, someone who sees expression as something that's like embarrassing and shameful. Like, I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and it's honestly not even about me with these bangs right now. Like, and it's really not even about a specific person. It's like the idea of, you know, a system or an environment where repression and suppression is like encouraged. It's the norm. And the beginning section of this song is like, I figured it out. Like, I know why I feel, another text, I know why I feel like shit all the time. Like, I have all the answers now. Like, I know, I see through the things, the voices, the people, the environments that are trying to make me feel like I need to shrink, need to be smaller in order to be worthy and of value to them. And yeah, and I think that, like, you know, with the lines of how it felt to be a child unaware of the forces that to name I wouldn't dare. It's like when you're a kid and you're like, all this energy is like, you know, and messaging is being aimed at you, you don't, like, it's hard to know like what the hell is happening, and you're kind of just like, oh my god, like, I'll get in line. Like, I think that as a child you have, you know, like, I feel like when I was growing up, like when I was a kid, I definitely could be sassy and I could be, you know, I could be sassy, I could be expressive, I could kind of push back on whatever was trying to weigh me down. But then as that energy piles on over time, you don't even realize what's happening, and you start conforming and you start shrinking, and you're not even like conscious. Like you're like a kid, you're a child. Like you don't even have the wherewithal to question things. It's weird because it's like, on one hand, I feel like children are the most inquisitive and questioning beings on the planet, but then at the same time, it's like they're also very moldable and malleable, and, you know, picking up on just what is expected of them. Like it's kind of a little bit of both, but inevitably with the child there is this like naivete, I don't know. And it's like, with this first verse, I'm reflecting on that. I'm reflecting on, okay, I see what's been happening, and I can't believe that all of that was put on me as a child. Like all of that shame, all of that, like all the stealing of my youth, you know? So that's the first verse. Now I strut down the streets with a face so mean, but I feel lighter than ever. You've never seen me cold like this, so bundle up, the air is brisk. You're naked, doused in black tar, smeared in feathers, and I don't want to hear complaints about the weather. With this section, I'm turning it back on whatever archetype I feel is attempting to make me feel less than, to humiliate me, whatever it is, to make me feel embarrassed, to make me feel ashamed. I'm turning it back and I'm like, actually, you're naked, doused in black tar, smeared in feathers. Like that's like, I feel like I looked this up when I was like writing, because I knew what imagery I was going for, but I like didn't know where, I forgot where it came from. And then I looked it up and I think it was like fucking like colonial America or something. Like they would like douse, they would like actually, let's do a history lesson. Like, you know the tar and feathering, like it's like a thing, like tarring and feathering. Yes. It says, tarring and feathering was an infamous form of public torture and vigilante justice, where a victim was stripped to the waist, covered in hot pine tar, and coated in feathers. It was primarily used to humiliate, intimidate, or shame individuals who had offended a community or violated social norms. So, and then it says, like, during the American Revolution, patriots and the Sons of Liberty used it as a favorite tactic of protest and intimidation against British tax collectors and loyalists. Like, okay, boots, you know. But but basically, oh my God, that's actually so funny. Like, considering the outfit that I'm wearing right now, like it's giving founding father. Is this offensive? I don't know. Anyways, comment down below, is this offensive? Thanks. So yeah, it's basically me being like, actually, I'm tarring and feathering you, bitch. You're trying to humiliate me. You're trying to make me feel embarrassed. You're naked, doused in black tar, smeared in feathers, and I don't want to hear complaints about the weather. You know, does that make sense? Tell me. Then we get into, I am isolated and ashamed of it. If you were to ask me how I feel, I couldn't find a name for it and it wouldn't have much mass appeal. So I shelve emotions like product slow promotion leads to little sales. The mascot's off the rails. So there's a lot in this section. On TikTok Live, when I was talking about this song, I was actually talking about this specific section, and I talked a lot about it from the perspective of how, like, my upbringing. So talking about my childhood, I've just done it so many times. Not on the internet, a little bit on the internet too, but I've done it so many times not on the internet, whether it's been to like people in my life or my therapist or whatever, that like when I have to get into my childhood, I'm like, oh my God.
Ignore the fact that I'm in a separate location, but I love how I'm acting as if someone asked me to talk about my childhood. Like, no one asked. And I'm like, oh my God, like, I have to talk about my child. Like, literally, like, you didn't have to. You chose to do that.
It is really relevant to my music and this song in particular, so we're going to do it. So I grew up with two moms. Actually, let's start over. So I grew up in a town in New Jersey, a small town in New Jersey. Like, it was just giving typical American suburb, okay? I grew up with queer interracial parents. Okay? So, a lot of the time I felt just kind of, I felt a little different. So a lot of the time I felt, you know, I felt a little different. I felt a little, you know, one of these is like the other vibes. And it was quite an isolating experience. And on top of that, I was also an iPad kid and an only child. So when I say I am isolated and ashamed of it, like I was really isolated and ashamed of it. Like it was bad. And like it was weird because I kind of wasn't ashamed of it. Like I did kind of walk around with like a certain level of delusion, like genuine delusion, that I was like, I'm like badder than all you bitches. Like my parents are cooler than you. I'm cooler than you. Like, and you are all just so blind. Like you just don't see it. You just don't get it. You don't see the vision. And it's exhausting to, you know, be so ahead of your time without the proper audience. That's how I felt as a child, okay? So that really, and that's only the first line. Like we're only getting into the first line, okay? I said, if you were to ask me how I feel, I couldn't find a name for it and it wouldn't have much mass appeal. Basically being like, you try to put that experience, you try to describe that experience in a word or two. You can't. Okay, you can't. And it also is not very wide. It's not very like, it feels like a very niche experience. It feels very like the things that I am feeling, I don't know how widespread those feelings are because I don't know how widespread this experience is. And I just feel like an alien specimen I was made in a test tube, you know? So there's that. And then we get into, actually this last part is my favorite. I think that this is my favorite part of the song because this is where I reference, like I do like a tongue-in-cheek moment at the concept of capitalism. Classic. I say, so I shelve emotions, like products, low promotion leads to little sales. Like I basically cherry pick which okay. So I glitched out for a second. I basically end up cherry picking which emotions and experiences to express based on palatability because I feel so alone in my overall experience that I have to kind of like sort through and be like, okay, which one of these will allow me to connect with another individual, you know, so that I can experience human connection and have human connection and not be like just some like crazy whatever weirdo that like has this like specific vibe happening. And I say like products, low promotion leads to little sales. So it's like, it's like almost like I feel like I'm like marketing, I'm pitching different ideas, marketing my personality to see what lands the most because I'm just terrified at the level of like not relatability. Like I'm terrified at how unrelatable my experience is to the people around me. Yeah, it's sad. It's a little sad. And then my favorite line of the song is the mascot's off the rails. Because, and this, I could talk about this one line for like way too long. Because I have a lot of ambiguous things. I have a lot of there's a lot of ambiguity in my identity, and I can still present very palatable. I can still present, and I have a lot of privilege, you know. So I end up feeling like this mascot where, you know, I can blend in a decent amount, but I still like check off certain boxes where it's like, oh, you know, she's you know, she's a little different because she's got this going on to her, and so I can still like check off certain boxes for people while also remaining palatable, and it makes me this like mascot sometimes, or I feel like I'm a mascot for communities that I'm a part of, because I'm the palatable member of that community or whatever. And so when I say the mascot's off the rails, it's kind of me being like, I'm getting a little real right now. I'm perhaps making the public a bit uncomfortable right now by saying things that we don't really want to hear all the time. And I love that sentiment. I love it. It reminds me of like that line, actually. That line was inspired by the movie Him by Jordan Peele, like Jordan Peele's Him, because there's this, what is the line? Oh, it's the opposite of a savior isn't a killer, it's a mascot. And just like the whole movie is about
I tried to explain it, but I really couldn't do the movie justice. So
just like watch the movie. It's a good movie. I like that movie. Anyways, and then we get into, and I've been staying in my place, but energy exudes through my expression. I can make the room uncomfortable in just a couple seconds. I watch the heads turn. I sense the mood shift, the curse of controversy, my God-given gift. Okay, I'm going like this. So this part kind of builds on the idea that as the mascot, you have two options, and you can either stay in your place or say something about maybe like an issue or something that relates to your community, you know? But then that will usually make people uncomfortable. And then you are, you know, faced with that. And this song, the power in this song is basically being like, even when I stay in my place and I keep my mouth shut, energy exudes through my expression. Like, I occupy a space in a room, and I, you know, despite the ability to blend in, will inevitably give off a vibe that something is weird, something isn't right, you know? Like, what are we doing? What is going on type thing, you know? This is really one of those things. This might be one of those videos where it's either gonna be like you get it or you don't, and that's okay. I feel like I said that last time, didn't I? Like, didn't I say that last time? I don't know. And the curse of controversy, my God-given gift. That's just like how I felt growing up. That's just how I felt. I've always felt like that. I think, again, I can like blend in pretty well. I do have a lot of privilege, but I've always just felt like I have a lot going on when it comes to my background. And I don't know, especially for where I grew up. I was saying this on the TikTok live too, me like constantly referencing this TikTok live that I just did. But I feel like sometimes people with queer parents had, depending on where they grew up, had like a really just like normal childhood and like experienced no difference from their like friends or whatever with straight parents. And it's so funny because I was literally the only kid in my town, like in my whole town, like not just, oh my God, sorry, there's like a hair, like not just not like in my grade or something, like literally in the town, okay? And I was probably one of the only kids with like interracial parents in the town too, like like in the whole town, okay?
There was actually another baddie in my grade with interracial parents, and she knows who she is.
Okay? I'm 20, and I was saying this too, where I'm 24, so I think it's even different for kids now, and like there's way more of like a dialogue, and like, and it's not, and it's honestly still a whole thing, like nowadays too, to be real with you. Like there's still a lot of layers to it now, but like in 2010, in 2009, I was 8 in 2009, okay? Like it was kind of like a weird, like there was no one doing it the way that my family was doing it, okay? Okay? Like, I'm so serious. And this wig is like, sorry, I can't not focus on the wig. Like, I just felt like a controversial 8-year-old for no reason. Like, just because I was like, I was just birthed here. Like, I don't even know why we moved to this town. Like I don't even know what's going on. Like, I'm just 8 years old. Like, I'm just 8, you know? Like, I'm just, yeah, I don't know. You know, my parents were trying to give me a good education. So we moved to this small town in New Jersey. Praise be. But whatever. And I've been staying in my place. Okay. I'm skipping the next section because it's similar to the one right before. So then we get into the classic part. I should take up more room. I've been hiding in the cupboard in my costume. I had been quiet undercover till I coughed and started choking. And now everyone outside can hear the whole thing. So in any situation, in any scenario that I'm in, there's kind of this grace period where it's not apparent that I kind of live outside of some sort of box that perhaps others are able to remain in. There's actually this grace period a lot of the time where I don't immediately stick out. And then there's the moment where all is revealed and the truth comes out. And it's like, oh, okay. And so that's the idea of I coughed and started choking, and now everyone outside can hear the whole thing. It's like, oh, okay, like, you know. Like, it's all out on the table now, you know. So I should probably take up just a little bit more space so I don't go on a full-blown rampage. I should probably stretch my legs and have a little confidence. So this is me kind of being like, damn, like I should just off the bat be like who I am instead of, you know, basically staying in the box for as long as I can and then inevitably like suffocating and needing to break out of it, you know? But then I'm like, God, what if I miss all of the mice squeaking in the cabinets at night? I'd grown fond of them. What if I need a friend? That's basically me wrestling with like the payoff of conformity, you know? Like there is a payoff to a certain extent to conformity. Like you can maybe access certain spaces, access certain privileges, or I don't know, whatever. Like conformity makes things easier in certain ways. And so this is me wrestling with that and being like, you know, what if I break out of conforming and then I can't get back in and it's bad and it's scary and it's a mistake. And then I go, what if everybody hates a clown? I'm like a foreigner in my hometown. Entertainers rarely make their families proud, I've learned. So this is funny because I am a foreigner in my hometown. I am literally like I'm not like a foreigner, like I'm straight up like I'm not from there. My family is like not even from this country really. So, yeah. Classic clown reference. I had to reference being a clown because it's part of my character, you know, characters, if you will. And entertainers really make their families proud. That one's kind of like, that one's a tough line because it's like there's different layers to the isolation that you end up feeling sometimes trying to break out of conformity, like because sometimes you belong to a community that is already on the outskirts of society or whatever it is. And then even within that community, you feel on the outskirts because you don't conform in the ways that maybe they do in order to get by and cater to larger sex, like sex as an SECTS of the like society and the world at large, you know? Like, I don't know if that fully makes sense, but like even like the best example I could give is like, for example, being part of the Latin community, you know, you already kind of feel this rift between like the average American and yourself, where it's like you're foreign, you're like there's a lot of messaging about your community on like the TV and in the media and how it's like you're bad and you're lazy and you shouldn't be here and you don't deserve to be here and whatever. And there's already like you already feel this like, oh my God, like my community and I, like we have to fight to be embraced by the mainstream a little bit, or like we're only embraced by the mainstream in these ways. And then within the Latin community, when you're also like queer or neurodivergent or anything that isn't, you know, the I don't even know how to frame this anymore. It's like so hard to talk about it low key, like honestly, like when you're anything that can make you even more of like a problem, basically, it's like you face isolation within that community as well. so you don't belong, like, so then it's like neither, like, it feels like no one accepts you and no one embraces you because you're just too many things at once. So yeah. Oh God, that one's tough. And then the last section, I will be taking your opinion too seriously. I will be until the walls cave in and I am left with no choice but to become everything you avoid. Sorry, my hair, like, I'm really going through things. I love this line. Oh, wait. Okay, that's, I got it. So I will be taking your opinion too seriously until the walls cave in and I have no choice but to become everything you avoid. This is my last little, like, call to power. Call to power? Does that make sense? I don't know. There's like a specific power in this last line because it's basically highlighting the inevitability of a breakthrough. Like, you know, it's basically me being like, I will feel the weight of your words and your perception to the point where I will have to transcend them. And I will have to transcend your ignorance, you know, for my own growth and my own path. That's I've been hiding in the cupboard in my costume. Yes. I took a little break. Oh my God. I took a little break because I needed a second. I needed a moment. But I'm back. So next song we have Don't Quit Your Day Job. I'm not going to go line by line because I'm only going to do that for certain songs. So for Don't Quit Your Day Job, I'm kind of just going to talk about the overall vibe of it. Don't Quit Your Day Job is specifically about me navigating the music industry and how insufferable it is. And how I have been, oh my God. I kind of went into this, I kind of went into my experience in the music industry within the last Lyrics Explained. I feel like I really talked about how I was pursuing some sort of label deal. I really wanted some sort of record deal. And I was in a bunch of meetings with a bunch of different labels. I met a bunch of different people within the industry, and it was just, yeah, it was just an insufferable experience, honestly. I know it could have been worse, but it was pretty bad as it was. And it was kind of crazy. I was like in wild rooms to be in for someone with no connections at the age of like, between the ages of like 20 to 23. And it's really cool to think about because I was just a girl with a TikTok and a dream, really. And that got me very far. But it also just sucked. And it was really like a degrading and demeaning experience over and over again. I did meet people that are decent, for sure, and I don't think it's any one specific person's fault. I don't think any one specific person is like evil or whatever. It's kind of just like the industry itself and how it works it has a pretty dark energy to it, and it's just a wild world to be in as a creative and as a young creative. It's just whoa, just lots going on. But this is one of, in the last video I talked about the project, in the last Lyrics Explained video I talked about the project Submerged that was supposed to be a thing but is no longer, and how it was supposed to kind of be a metaphor of some sort. Like the deep sea was supposed to be a metaphor for just like the darker places that I've been in, like physically and also mentally, and the music industry really comes into play there. And so yeah, don't quit your day job. I'm, using the sharks as an analogy for label heads or just like people who work within systems that the aim is to profit off of artists and their creativity while also snuffing out their light. So yeah, don't quit your day job is basically just me navigating that. And yeah. Then we have It's All Quiet on the Western Front, which I didn't make a YouTube video for, but I dropped it on SoundCloud. And I have this song has such a special place in my heart. I actually have a fully produced version that I can't release. The whole idea of it is my headspace is a constant battle zone, but we keep it as quiet on the Western Front as we can, or like even if wars are raging on, it's like, don't worry, it's all quiet on the Western Front. Then we have I Got So Bored, I Destroyed All the Oceans. I will get into this one a little bit. I got so bored, I destroyed all the oceans. Do you happen to have a spare in the back? No risk, no reward. I explore my explosions. Just a little nuclear war, it'll pass. This one's actually interesting. Like, it's so funny because I really did not plan out the order of these songs as much as I could have. But it's funny, that first part coming off of It's All Quiet on the Western Front, which is, very much like war metaphor imagery and all that, and then we start out this song with just a little nuclear war, it'll pass. It's All Quiet feels very direct and very, like just, I'm talking about my mental health, I'm talking about how it feels to live inside my head, and I'm comparing it to, a constant battle, But then I Got So Bored, I Destroyed All the Oceans. It's a bit more vague and scattered in terms of the delivery. And it's kind of, the song feels like a consequence of all the media and knowledge like consumed about how the human race is destroying the planet, it's less of me, like I am kind of, when I say just a little nuclear war, it'll pass, I am talking about my own mindset in that way. Like, oh yeah, like things get so bad, but it's just a little nuclear war. It'll pass, the same way that, during the Cold War, we were training kids to duck and cover in case an atomic bomb goes off. So there is that comparison and there is that like analogy happening, but it's more so, what I'm trying to get at with this song is the mindsets and issues that I experience, or that we all experience, are directly correlated to political mindsets and societal mindsets. So the individual is experiencing anxiety, fear, depression, whatever it is, not just because of the individual and on an individual level, but there is a larger thing happening. I have to watch this back and see if I articulated this properly. But this song, it kind of reminds me of, I kind of want the world to end, in the sense that I'm like pointing towards larger systems at play and being like, yeah, like no wonder we're all a little fucked, You're not scared of me, but you should start fearing God. You're not scared of me, but you should start fearing God. Spirits are starting to talk. You should start fearing God. Though that section is very, like, it's just a feeling I have, like what I was talking about when I was explaining the lyrics to that song. Like, we live by the laws of the material world. There is something more spiritual out there, and there are more like spiritual laws out there that are beyond material politics and material things. Just because something, how do I explain this? Like, just because something has a physical or a material payoff does not mean it is the correct or moral thing spiritually. It does not ensure a spiritual payoff, if that makes sense. I keep on saying if that makes sense, but it's just weird to talk about. And this is literally why artists don't do this. This is why artists don't do this, because then it's like weird and glitchy to talk about it. And this is why artists are just like, I'll let the art speak for itself, because honestly, it's so much easier. Like, spirits are starting to talk. They write your name on the walls. They've got a bounty on your head for money, power, and glory. I've been after all three, so this is working out for me. I've been after all three, and I'd like a little bit more, please. Yeah, this section and the last section are very, like, this is very gilanares character coded, where I'm basically like, I transcend this material plane, and I know I contain multitudes, and I am a vessel for the entities that seek to restore justice to humanity. Like, that's kind of the character that I'm creating. I'm playing on that. Yeah, like a spiritual vigilante of some sort is, yeah. God fucking damn it. No one can explain it to me. I don't understand it. Heaven's all I want, but hell is easier to manage. This can be seen as something individual, where in my life, just personally, I can sometimes feel like
you know, I want to do the things that are good for me. I want to take care of myself, but somehow it is easier to pursue harmful habits and to stay in harmful cycles. So it's like, even though heaven's all I want, hell is easier to manage. And then on a larger scale, it's kind of talking about how we all arguably want to live in some sort of, we arguably all want to live in a world where everybody can thrive and get along and be happy and healthy and accepting and equal and all of that. But it is more convenient to lean into consumerism and systems that exploit and take advantage of other humans. Like, it's just humans taking advantage of other humans, or systems taking advantage of other humans, and somehow that is more convenient and easier than working towards some sort of utopia or a society that works for us all. I give you my best and all I get is reprimanded. I give you my best and all I get is what I'm handed. Pretty pixels on a broke down planet. All a girl could ever imagine. Paint my face and shoot me out a cannon. This section kind of frames my own personal take on navigating these systems and how it feels like I can try so hard to be capitalism's perfect bot, perfect worker, whatever it may be, and still all that I get is, you know, my pretty little technology, and oh my god, maybe I can be famous too. So yeah. So it's basically me being like, I can work so hard and be the best laborer of them all, and still it will only grant me superficial forms of fulfillment and success. Then the last section, I got so bored I destroyed all the oceans, mass destruction for which I was hungry. I got so bored, I destroyed all the oceans, but I'll just say I did it for my country. And then I got so bored, I destroyed all the oceans, and afterwards I asked them to unplug me. Yeah, this part, honestly, this part does kind of speak for itself, maybe except for the last line. The last line is me kind of alluding to the Matrix, duh. I'll just say I did it for my country, that's like me directly, you know, side-eyeing the military-industrial complex and being like, yeah, we destroy everything and each other and start wars, and then we're like, but it's for our country though, and we lean into nationalism and convince people that they are somehow doing the right thing by being violent because they're doing it for their country, when in reality we are all just human beings hurting other human beings and in turn hurting ourselves. So that's I got so bored I destroyed all the oceans. Woo! Then we have something in the water. This one, I actually think that this is the one that I will end on. I think this is the one that I will end on, and then in the next video I will cover the last few songs, potentially another one,
that I release in the future. I don't know. I shouldn't talk like I know, because I don't. But Something in the Water actually kind of ends things on a more uplifting note, where I do address all the awfulness that I have previously acknowledged. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't know, there's something in the water. I have a feeling that, you know, things are turning around, or things could turn around. It carries on. I keep on referencing it's just a feeling I have, because all the themes and all the songs do kind of blend together in that way, and they all like come together on this release cycle, or this demo cycle. But Something in the Water, I can go a little bit, I can do a little line by line action with this song too. So like the first section, I've been told the tales before of life out on the shore, but the ocean started at my ankles, killer whales at my front door, made its way up to my knees, then my thighs, not my shorts. This feels like, and even the following section, I've been told the tales before, had him write to me at bedtime, headline after headline, and all the very best rhymed. This whole part is talking about how at a very young age I was exposed to all this media about, you know, how the world is crazy, there's awful things happening in the world all the time. As a young girl, I was witnessing girls and women being sexualized on the internet, and that's the part where I'm like, my knees, thighs, and shorts. That's kind of what that alludes to. And then the headline after headline, that's like kind of talking about like the news, like, you know, becoming conscious at the news of whatever age, and becoming conscious of like, oh my God, like there's wars happening all the time, and like, blah, 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 like, I don't know. I sound a little bit, my brain is kind of getting fried. My brain is fried at this point in the video, if I'm being real with you. But that whole section, I'm basically like, it's this loss of innocence due to exposure to media at such a young age, and messaging at such a young age, whatever. And then I say, there's something in the water, I can feel it rising. It's a revolution, baby, but not the one they're televising. That line kind of has a few layers to it. So I'm referencing, we're getting back into our research bag. I'm referencing a song by Gil Scott Heron called The Revolution Will Not Be Televised. Okay, so I do go into this song a bit and read some research I found on Genius lyrics on the internet, okay? But I urge you to do your own research and like listen to it and explore it. I'm not trying to sound preachy about it or anything when I'm talking about it. It just is genuinely a piece of work that inspired me and inspired this song. So I just kind of wanted to give like a disclaimer that like I don't know all that there is to know about this song or this artist, or you know, anything, like even the movement itself. But yeah, I just thought it just made me feel things, and I wanted to share. And yeah. And according to my knowledge, I shouldn't speak on this like I know everything about it, because I don't. But according to my knowledge, this song is supposed to be like, actually I'll read this is the song bio on Genius lyrics. Let me read this. The revolution will not be televised is a rhythmic jam, like, okay, that served as an unapologetic wake-up call to anyone, especially African Americans, who thought they could gain their freedom by sitting on the sidelines. In a series of bold statements, Scott Heron is essentially saying that freedom is not a spectator sport. You will not be able to sit at home and expect progress to come knocking. You will not see progress in the mainstream media, and you will not be able to rely on social or political leaders to give you your freedom. Instead, you will have to be a strong, courageous, hopeful, and most importantly, educated. You will have to be strong, courageous, and hopeful, and most importantly, educated to finally earn your freedom from the racism running rampant amongst all of the institutions in the United States. There is for sure like an activism layer, I guess, to what I am saying with that. Okay, I didn't phrase this properly. The song doesn't have an activism layer, but I'm talking about it is still some sort of form of social commentary, is what I meant to say. Like, it's not really like an activism song. It's just, there is a social commentary within it, and that's what I was trying to say. But I'm also actually kind of reframing it a bit. Like, for this song particularly, when I say it's a revolution, baby, but not the one they're televising, I'm also talking about like an internal revolution where all of that starts when you open yourself up to breaking out of the matrix or whatever you want to call it. Like, that revolution that we all talk about, or we all dream about, that utopia or whatever that we all want, or, we're all trying, like, we all daydream about, okay? It starts within. It's not something that you necessarily will find on the internet, or you will find outside of you. It's something that happens within you first. So it's a freedom that you give to yourself before anything, like, that's kind of what I'm trying to say with this song and in the chorus, where it's like this inner revolution that happens before anything external can shift or occur. And that's kind of like the whole point of the song. Like, when I'm saying there's something in the water, it's honestly more personal. It's more personal, where I'm like, yeah, you know what? I have a feeling that things will turn around, or I have a feeling that there's something bigger than us at play, or whatever it is, because I'm giving myself the permission to think like that and to feel like that. And that's the revolution that happens before anything else happens, and that's not televised. Like, that is very internal. So that's what I'm saying there. And then the whole section after, where I'm like, now the sea is at my waist, so much of my energy I've misplaced, I just wanted to be entertained. I'm tying it back. This song is very, I am addressing the media's impact on me/us psychologically, and just like how damaging it can be. And I kind of get into that, fully submerged in pitch black. I sit back, relax, and drown. But then I say, guess you caught me rotting in my fishbowl basement, but there's something in the water. I swear to God, I can still taste it. I've gotten way too good at getting numb. I've been a few too many people I swore not to become, but now there's something in the water on the tip of my tongue. Now there's something in the water, where it's like, I've experienced all of these versions of myself, and all of these versions of my external reality and other people that are so not in line with what I want or what I'm searching for. And despite that, I am choosing to believe in a reality in which I can find community, I can experience wholeness, and yeah. And then this is my favorite part of the song. My guardian angel's a goldfish My guardian angel's a goldfish with a flashlight, and the Loch Ness monster lent me an oxygen tank. She stole it off a diver that she torn up into pieces. She's got extra inside of a submarine that she sank. This part is kind of me. I'm like using the goldfish and the Loch Ness monster as, it's kind of like, that's kind of a reference to like specific people or specific things that get you through the darker times. And then the outro, rock bottom, rough around the edges. I pray I'm protected. I pray I'm protected. Rock bottom, rough around the edges. I pray I'm protected. I pray you're protected. So I kind of end the song on a spiritual note, where, yeah, like even the phrase rock bottom, rough around the edges, where it's like when you've been through certain things and you've had certain experiences, it can really harden you and make you feel jaded. And I see that in myself, and I see that in other people in general. I see that in other people that I care about. And I pray that we are all protected and that we still carry that light within us somewhere, and that ability to like transcend and overcome the darker things that we've been through. So yeah, I feel like that's a good note to end on. Yeah, I feel I really just got on here and just started yapping. I'm like tired today. I had so much energy and now I'm so tired. I don't even know why. But I hope you enjoyed this video. More to come. There's more happening. I'm excited about it. And yeah, just stay tuned.